Dexter's New Blood Season 2. Will there be one? Now, obviously there's a spoiler alert here. But let's go through the article and see what they're gonna say about this. So Dexter's New Blood. You know the old saying, when one door closes, another opens. Well, Dexter's New Blood seems to have taken pretty literally with its conclusion to Season 1. The serial killer with a conscience returned to our screens after 10 years of believing he got away with murder. But even living life in the picturesque town of Iron Lake wasn't enough to quell the call of the dark passenger in his head. Throw in the return of your long-lost child, and it's only a matter of time before things start going wrong tremendously quickly. And quickly it did. It actually felt really rushed for me. But let's continue on. While it seems the future of the show is pretty wrapped up, unfortunately, Dexter has beaten the odds on more than one occasion and may now continue in a new form. Even the bosses aren't convinced we've seen the last of the story. Not sure what we're talking about? Here's everything you need to know about the potential of Season 2 and beyond. Will there be one? You would think the answer would be no if you watched the season finale. After his past was unearthed, Dexter, who has rebranded himself to become local shop owner Jim Lindsay, finally met a grisly end. The character, famously played by Michael C. Hall, has shuffled on his mortal coil following a showdown with his troubled and distant teenage son, Harrison. But that doesn't mean it's all over just yet. In the finale, it seemed the pair were finally bonding after being reunited, which was actually very wholesome, I thought. Especially that hug in the van. When that all came together, I was like, oh, that felt nice. That you finally saw Dexter happy. When you see Dexter happy, it makes you happy. You know, it's just one of those things. So, with them both sharing the dark sides and urges to kill, they were both born in blood, as Dexter himself would say, thanks to historical childhood trauma, where both tragically were left in tears covering in their parents' blood after their murders. But in a bid to escape Iron Lakes as Dexter's past misdeeds started catching up with him, Harrison ended up turning a gun on his dad after he failed to abide by his own rules over who should and shouldn't live. Now, yeah, the number one rule, only murder those who deserve to die. By killing off a police officer who was holding him custody, Dexter broke it. In that situation, he could have easily just slowly put him to sleep, you know, because he had him in a chokehold. He just put a little bit more pressure. He could have just knocked him out and put him to sleep. But no, he had to go all the way and snap off the neck off a guy that, you know, was actually really, really cool and very friendly over things. He wasn't a dickhead like Dukes. He was like Dokes, whatever, Sergeant Dokes. Remember in season 1 and 2? Oh, he was amazing though. He was one of the funniest characters I enjoyed. But yeah, there's a lot of bad decisions that was made with Dexter's character. There's a lot of rush towards the end. I loved the season though. The season was amazing because it was pretty gripping throughout the whole thing. It was entertaining. It was gripping. There's just poor choices on Dexter's character. But let's continue reading on. Meanwhile, Miami Metro's Angel had finally discovered his old blood spatter analysis pal was actually alive and well, and most likely the mysterious Bay Harbor Butcher. As a result, the net was closing in around Dexter anyway, and I would have loved to have an Angel and Dexter confrontation. Just, you know, you want that conversation to be had. You want Angel to realize, ask him questions. You want these kind of conversations to be had. You know, the original season finale just cut off him being in the woods, and this one it just cut off him being shot. You know, they're just like, yeah, we know these are endings. They're not bad endings. They're bad because there's no closure. There's no confrontation. There's no character. You built all these characters like Angel, all these people in the department. You want them to finally speak and just like, you know, have Dexter reveal why he did these things. Just have that moment. They took it away from both season finale, which I think was a poor decision on both parts. I just don't know why they did it that way. Anyway, Continuing on, Alcott, who was Harrison, spoke of what it was like to play the character responsible of acting a truly memorable anti-hero. I was worried about it after we shot it, because I was like, oh my god, I killed Dexter. I'm going to be the most hated man in America for at least a week, the young actor said. Because even though it is the right ending, the ending this show deserves, the ending the character deserves, the ending the character wants, there's definitely some guilt that comes off killing one of the coolest TV characters of all time. He admitted he was feeling pressure when it came to the actual shooting in the climatic death scene. It was the most stressful thing I think I experienced in the entire shoot. I thought, how am I going to deliver a performance worthy of all this build-up? I'm missing all this context. Very true. However, the guidance of Hall and executive producers helped ease his nerves. The gun came up way early in the original version of the scene, so that the entire scene was at gunpoint. In playing with it, we discover that it comes up later. It makes a lot more room for the nuanced scene. It's less than just an angry son shooting his dad, and more of a mutual discovery that is how it's supposed to end, and it won't work out any other way. It's a divisive ending. It's very divisive. But I also feel incredibly blessed to be part of the story that's going to affect a lot of people. Whether it makes them happy, angry, or sad, whether it makes them hate me, whatever, it's cool to tell a story that affects people, regardless of what the effect is. Despite the main character dying, show bosses have already confirmed plans for season 2. There we go. That's what we wanted to hear. Now, just a bit on that part. Could Dexter actually be dead? He got shot in the chest, right, in the heart, but there was no closure after that. There's no funeral. There's no speech. It was just a cut. Okay, it was a cut. They left room there on purpose for this season 2. That's what I felt anyway. Because if anything, if you kill a character like that, you have to close it off properly. You got to have the moment where he sees his father's dead. He talks to... you want something more. You want maybe Angel coming in, seeing the body, you know. You'd be like, we got the Biohazard Butcher. There's some other scene following up on that. You can't just have him shot there in a pool of blood and then cut out of that. No ambulance coming up, no picking up him, you know, going, just taking his body, like his lifeless body. There's none of that at all. So it opens up the door where he could be survived. He could be in a coma. We don't know, but there's a possibility. He ain't dead. There's no way. Especially if there's a season 2, they gotta bring him back. It's Dexter, man. It's Dexter. So Clive Phillip continues to say, it's all in Showtime's hands. If they were to call me and say, we want to do Harrison, we want you to figure it out. I'm pretty busy, but I would drop everything I'm doing and jump right into it. I would love to do it, but it's really up to Showtime. So, the desire for Dexter New Blood to continue has been backed up by an impressive number for the network, which they surely would be keen. Sorry, I'm having a lot of air gaps here. To cash in on while they can. TV Line reported that the show was the most watched series in Showtime's history, averaging 8 million weekly viewers across all platforms. The New Blood or the original? 3 million viewers tuned in for the finale on the premiere night alone, making it the most watched Showtime finale in 8 years, falling just short of the Dexter finale, which attracted a whopping 3.3 million viewers in 2013. Wait, hold on, what am I reading? 3 million tuned in for the finale, falling just short. Okay, that's actually a really good sign. So as of February 2022, there's been no official announcements of its return, but give it time. Surely it's a matter of when and not if. So the article goes on to say who will be in it. If there's anything important here, let me just quickly skim read it. Not really. Last we saw the teenage challenge for his dead death. Angela Bishop took the blame for Dexter's death. I actually like Angela Bishop. A lot of people say that they don't like any of the new characters in the show. I actually liked most of them were likable. Angela Bishop, the Coach Logan, amazing. Didn't like the bartender, whoever that was in the band. Um, but even the villain was like, he wasn't like a dull, boring, and whatever. It's actually compelling, and I like Harrison. Thought it's his character was designed to be frustrating for Dexter to open up with. So I get where people say he's annoying, but I didn't find the character annoying so much that I just hated him, wanted him dead or whatever. I wanted them to, finally connect, which was what made that whole scene in the van so wholesome. But yeah, definitely enjoyed that. What's it say? So yeah, we can't say it's greatest decision on her part because he already know he's got a bit of a dangerous killing streak there. But there you go. What will be the plot? They probably don't even know themselves what the plot would be. What I would really love is to have, what would be a good plot? It's kind of like Dexter on the Run. But we had Dexter on the Run already. But just, I thought of it after I watched it. Now I forgot it, but there's definitely a lot of ways you can do it. Like I saw this one comment before where it says Harrison, when he gets into the van, it actually reveals that his dark passenger was the Trinity killer. How cool would that have been? That he had a dark passenger, but a different, like a version of it the whole time, and he was meant to kill Dexter. Like he did that, out of but that was his intention the whole time. Or that, Harrison wasn't even who he was. He was just another killer. There's a lot of ways they could have just added a twist at the end, but they carried it on. I thought that would have been cool. Obviously, the more you think about it, the more ridiculous it sounds. Like it's not going to be cool, but just if you're going to sit down and write the story out, there's got to be ways where you can just flip it like that, put little Easter eggs here and there throughout the whole show, and just make that the end reveal. That would have actually been pretty sick. Like there should have been moments where, when they looked into it, where Harrison wasn't really who he said he was, or maybe Hannah's still alive. Hannah was actually killed. It could have been a lot of doors open there, but obviously they felt like they crammed everything into one season. They weren't really opening it up with many unanswered questions. Everything felt pretty closed off for this one season, which is pretty sad, but yeah, they could have done heaps of other way. I definitely don't want to see a spin-off where Harrison is the new Dexter. That would be pretty lame. Yeah, I think that's all we can get out of this article. If you like the video, have any other similar thoughts, whatever, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.